there's a game called Bowblitz by Kaboom Games. The way they indirectly give you a very super powerful character as a test, maybe, or maybe as to just experiment for some time, and then they show it as a purchase rather than directly showing buy this character for $3, $5 stuff and all.
Love Foodie Sizzle. I love Skewer Gem by iCame. I love everything. First and foremost, like everything relates to meat and skewers and everything. It makes me hungry. So, but anyway, like any damage that this character, the guy, basically deal with 29K in comparison to 1,000, 3,000K. It's almost like it's amazing numbers. And then what they do is they take it away from you. They let you play one level without it, and then they give you the
Have a power up which can help me see those uncertainties for a fixed amount of time, then maybe that's the way you're saying, right? I mean, like, how do we resolve the problem of uncertainties a bit with an interesting power up or character or something? The biggest challenge in this game is what is the internal color. If I know what thread is inside this thing, I can smartly plan my moves and all. And why did you link this with streak? I mean, like, why not a one time thing and let user buy?
you need to make the streak all over again. So this is how I monetize again without fully monetize and stick it into your face.
If you see in Hexa sort and all, okay, like the way it's blended within the gameplay, it doesn't look like an extra button or something, but almost blended to the gameplay, right? So what is your thought on these things? Like,
Is the fact that eventually when you reach further and further down the road, they say they learn that you use this slot, this ad monetization slot, and they try to convert you to using them in IAP.
would it make sense for a match 3 layout, or like it would only make sense if the layout is empty and we are fit doing something rather than layout is completely full? And what is your thought on this guy? Like, can this thing be done in a already completely occupied layout rather than filling layout? Like 2 seconds I need to do a match, or within 4 seconds I need to do a match. So this is more like micro time pressure compared to the overall time pressure. So do you think is that too much for a player, or like that's a good way to monetize too?
I saw this great feature. Let's put it inside this game. It's like it's not a formula to success, because it's kind of like when you make a pasta, you don't throw in every product, every ingredient you have in your kitchen. Otherwise, it will taste, I would say, not good.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Next Big Games new gaming podcast episode. And today we're going to discuss about one of the most interesting things about gaming, how to design smart monetization systems which feels like a part of the experience itself. And today we have Guy from Supersonic, who's one of my closest friend and expert game designer. So today we're going to break out into the smart and best monetization systems, what some of the best games have tried. Over to you, Guy. You can do a small intro about yourself and then we can start on.
Sure. First, I like that you said one of my closest friends. Now I know.
If you are building mobile games and want to scale your game without losing equity, PVX non-dilutive funding offers flexible growth capital specifically designed for game studios. Fuel your user acquisition campaigns while maintaining full control of your company. Get in touch with PVX partners for more info.
Okay. So first, my name is Guy. I guess that I'm not new here. It's the second time that I'm here, but my name is Guy. I'm a game designer. I used to be a game designer for at Plarium, and also a game designer for more than a year and so for a year at Supersonic. Currently, I'm also running the core studio program. I'm leading the core studio program where we enroll new studios, try to work with them, and try to have them as basically our partners for Supersonic. And so that's it. I'm anxious and excited about monetization.
So, I mean, that's an interesting journey. And Guy, let's do a small thing, okay? I mean, both of us actually decided few interesting games and interesting things what are being done, and we made a list of those. At the ending of this video, we do want to know, like, what is your favorite amongst these 5 smartest monetization tactics, Guy? Let's rate both of us. Let's rate, okay, which one you like the most, which one I like the most, and all.
Sure.
So let's start on. I mean, the first most interesting monetization, I think both of us came out with the same idea but with different games. So I'll just tell what game I came up with, and you can see what Guy came up with too. So there's a game called Bowblitz by Kaboom Games. So this is one of those interesting games where it's more like a combination of Bowmasters by Legendary and Archero by Habby. So one of the interesting things what they did is like you see this character, right? This Roman kind of character. I'll try to play the game with this character. I'll lose very miserably. Suddenly, I get a phone call that this poison character is ready to play. I'll get a phone call and he'll replace my character for just 5 to 10 minutes, or maybe just for this one level. Okay. And this guy is so freaking powerful that, I mean, we completely we're completely shocked. I mean, like, this is super good. I can complete any level in just a matter of minutes with not even any minute health loss. So they show this kind of powerful character just for a few minutes, and immediately they show this pop-up like you can buy this character for this one-time purchase. So this has been one of my favorite thing. Okay, like I mean, the way they indirectly give you a very super powerful character as a test, maybe, or maybe what if creating your next game idea was as simple as selecting cards? Welcome to Next Big Ideas. With Game Fusion, pick one game and merge it with others instantly. Our AI generates build-ready game concepts, complete with new twist, progression ideas, and clear gameplay logic. Want something even more creative? Try Theme Remix. Choose a game, add a theme, and AI reimagines the entire experience. No guesswork, no creative blocks, just smarter game ideas, faster. As to just experiment for some time, and then they show it as a purchase rather than directly showing buy this character for $3, $5 stuff and all. So this has been one of my favorite thing. And Kai, you can do tell about your example, like.
Sure, sure. So everybody knows the Forex game. Everybody knows this genre. So basically, here we're talking about Dark War survival. Basically, upon that, you are doing them sort of the idle war, the idle battle. So then you feel like you're about to lose. The moment you feel like you're about to lose, they say, "Listen, we just at the moment you feel that okay, all hell breaks loose. I'm about to be over and done with it." They bring you a new character that basically swoops in and help you to surpass the level. This is amazing in terms of helping you in a really narrow and tight situation. Basically, upon that, they allow you to acquire this character. By the way, just a pop up. The name is Guy, so it's not the because of the name, but the feeling of like I'm getting a new character. It's not just that. So basically, what they relied on two things. The first and foremost, because of the genre itself, which is 4X, which is really deep, so they allow themselves to really enrich the narrative. Narrative will roll people inside. The more the narrative is richer, then it's easier for the developers to be like to give you a character that you will be emotionally attached to. This is the first thing. The second thing is that they want to give you the fact that upon you get this character, you played it with one level, two levels, you see how many damage this character, the guy, basically deal with. 29k in comparison to 1,000, 3,000k. It's almost like it's amazing numbers. And then what they do is they take it away from you. They let you play one level without it, and then they give you the offer, because then you understand, okay, I need this character because it helped me to surpass the level. So this is amazing monetization. It's not hard, it's not like in your face, it's not like brutal and aggressive. This is something really mellow that helps like players to understand that they actually need the help of the game in order to pass the level.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think even Bowblitz is not having this feature, I believe, like the damage dealt. So I think this is one interesting thing which we can learn from Forex too. But I have a general question, Guy. I've shown an action game and you're showing about a Forex strategy game, right? Is there any way we can use this kind of system in a puzzle game? Like, if yes, what could be a technical potential example for this, maybe?
So I guess that maybe I'm stealing the thunder from you, but basically this is kind of what we did in Supersonic with the X-ray effect of the screw and unravel and all of those. Basically, this is an ability that you get. Imagine to yourself that you're doing a puzzle game.
True.
Think of what you can give a player in the terms of UX that will and is doing some sort of a progression to get to it. Give him that for one or two levels to experiment with, and then take it away from him, and then it will like he will understand what is like to play without it. I have to say that on puzzle games it's much more harder because the narrative aspects is kind of diluted from it, and then you need to kind of cover it in terms of great mechanic and great animation and everything to do really a huge masterpiece. But let alone you need to face the ability that you're about to lose. You're nearly over the level, the clock winding down, you're giving them something that easily help them to pass the level, and then you like tell them, if you want more than this, come and get it. So this is amazing. You can do it with boosters most of the time. You can do it with like enhancing the timer, and etc., etc. But it needs to be extremely intact and to give something that the normal gameplay don't get you, don't grant you. Sorry.
So if I'm not wrong, if I take puzzle games for example, one of the cool part about puzzle game is uncertainties. Like if you see from block jam to good sort and all, what's gonna be the next layer, which is highly uncertain. So if we can have a power up which can help me see those uncertainties for a fixed amount of time, then maybe that's the way you're saying, right? I mean, like how do we resolve the problem of uncertainties a bit with an interesting power up or character or something? So that's the
Exactly.
picture, right? Yeah. No,
Exactly,
that's
exactly.
totally yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have characters, so you don't like, you don't have all this customization of which you can do in RPG. Also, you can do it in tower defense, but in puzzles you don't have it. So you need to kind of grant them. This is why we grant something that easily can be reached in other puzzles, but here we grant them is part of the progression that they are making. Yeah.
No, no, I mean that's interesting. So, I mean, even in Bowblitz, this is one thing I liked. Okay, the way they keep these events. I mean, we've seen racing events, a lot of these ladder climbing events being there these days. But this is one of the interesting things too, where they show this animation of satisfying. Hey, how do we save this princess and all? Do you think events really help in monetization much, or like, what is your perspective on this narrative hook side and all?
Um, Honestly, I think that like, again, in those kinds of games, it's easy to like get the attention of a player and hook, like to use the hook as part of like a hero, a character with a set of abilities. Each character has a set of abilities. Look at, for example, like the Brawl Stars of the world. Okay, do some sort of an event with an amazing, like up to beat character that brings you this and this and this, and you make something really hype about it. It's extremely important, extremely something that, like, you create a full-time event on top of it. This is something that you don't feel like pressured to do that. Like, you don't feel that you're obliged to do that because you actually want to do that. Like, this is part of your gameplay. This is part of, like, I think that most people, and Abi did it amazingly. Yeah, I think most people wanted this Teenage Mutant Turtles part of their reputees in Survivor. Everybody wanted to have this piece, much like in Fortnite. This is nothing new in terms of monetization, but when you do it subtly, because in mobile realm you need to do it extremely fast and extremely efficient, but not to let it be extremely aggressive. And this is extremely hard. I used a lot of the word extremely, right? But this is extremely hard to balance it because you need to be proficient. You need to nail the point, but you don't need to players to churn because it was too aggressive. So this example of Bowblitz is an amazing example of using character as part of some sort of an event.
Yeah, but it's a part of their story too, right? In lot of games, in puzzle games and all, if that doesn't happen, it wouldn't be very logical, right? Or very connecting somewhat, right?
Yeah, it's easy to do it in match three when you have like a lot of variation of this the amazing diamond and all of those like extremely boosters with like they do amazing stuff, and then it's easier for you to deliver it. Like otherwise, it's like it's a bit hard to do that.
Hmm. No, no, that's interesting to know. And I think we already wrote this in the list too, okay, like the example what you told previously. So this was
Yeah,
one of the most beautiful thing in Unravel Master by Supersonic itself. And I think the biggest challenge in this game is what is the internal color. If I know what thread is inside this thing, I can smartly plan my moves and all. And why did you link this with streak? I mean, like, why not a one-time thing and let user buy? Is there any reason for this guy?
yeah, definitely. So first and foremost, I want to give kudos to the team that actually thought about this idea. I'm sure that you love X-ray feature. Um, Basically, it's something that you get in a lot of other games. Like it's part of the gameplay itself. It's a feature. It's a mechanic that is existing in other games. So basically, we said like, okay, we're not giving it away, but because we know that players use it to avoid failure. So it's an important one. It's an important facet in the gameplay. So basically, what we did is to allow players to get it, but as part of like their stickiness, as part of their progression. The more dedicated you will be, the more you will want to continue play and avoid from failure. This is when you will get this booster. So again, this is something that, like, when you are committed to something, this, because as you can understand, I come from a psychology background, and as part of psychology, you look at these elements that create this dedication, all of those elements from behavioral economics. This is sunk cost effect. When I'm getting something, I want this because I know the feeling of what is the feeling of losing it. So the fear of losing is extremely, like, an important motivation in giving something away, instead of doing something as a one time. It's extremely different experience than if I would give it away as a booster, because the booster is something that you can purchase. It's not something that is extremely significant. Most boosters act the same. You have the extra slot, you have the sweep, you have the undo, you have all of those. It's nothing too peculiar. Here I'm giving you something that is sometimes can be even like a deal changer, like that will break the grounds. But you need to be consistent in what you do. You need to be careful. You will lose. You need to make the streak all over again. So this is how I monetize again without fully monetize and stick it into your face.
By the way, did you A/B test that first version too? Like, I mean, like Bowblitz, you can buy it one time thing, or like you need to do an IAP of $5, $4 per month, something like that. Did you try something of
Obviously,
that sort, or like okay? But Streak is
obviously,
giving better results, right?
obviously, like, first and foremost, like, need to say that everything that you see in games, okay, I'll say it about my game, but Supersonic, but everything you see in a game, be sure that it was thoroughly A/B tested. A lot of people gave it a lot of thought, and because, like, when you put a lot of, like, when you put 10 people in a room, you will get 100 opinions. So basically, what you do is like you test it, because otherwise you will not be able to understand. So this is basically like we tested, and these are the results that we got. Like, and it is like, if you look at it, it's reasonable, because puzzles in particular are games that are rooted in progression. You always want to grind more, and this is basically the main motivation behind playing puzzles. You want to do more and more. You want to accumulate more levels and to do more and to reach even further. This is why in most casual games you will see leaderboards and teams and all of these, like, competition elements, because you want people to keep grind more and more.
No, no, makes sense. That's interesting. I mean, like whatever we see is a result of lot of A/B tests, lot of statistical and database results rather than gut feeling, right? So I
Sure,
think,
sure.
yeah, that's interesting to know. And next thing, the most interesting thing, okay, we see a lot of games, but very rarely we have, if you see in Hexa sort and all, okay, like the way it's blended within the gameplay, it doesn't look like an extra button or something, but almost blended to the gameplay, right? So, what is your thought on these things? Like,
In my eyes, this is extremely smart monetization, and I know that I'm speaking in the head of the ad monetization guy, but it's like it's extremely important. Like, a lot of studios, they kind of disregard ad monetization, because they want, like, they want the stable money, they want the long-term money, they want, like, to be profitable for, and this is why they are up for the in-app purchases. But actually, we saw this was done via, like, a lot of places, like using actually mid-core games, because, as I told you, I come from a mid-core background. So when
um,
we did a thorough research, and we placed, like, in the shop, actually in the shop itself, we placed, like, there are, like, the paid bundles, and there are also bundles that you can get with RV. Also, by the way, you have also free bundles, but every bundle has more and more content and more, like, desirable content that you can have. And we realized that players that used bundles with RV actually are more prone to be the first time depositors, and of course second time, etc., etc. So basically what it means that if you put it like, and you said like rightfully so, if you blend ad monetization in a game, in the actual layout, and you blend it like seamlessly. Because as you said, like it's almost, it doesn't look as a unique, but it's part of the board. And when you get stuck, you say, I need an extra slot. Maybe this extra slot would be that. Like you just tap on it. But what is the most important thing is the fact that eventually, when you reach further and further down the road, they say they learn that you use this slot, this ad monetization slot, and they try to convert you to using them in IAP. And it's much more easier and this is hybrid. And this
Yeah.
exactly is pure hybrid casual. The usage of one particular monetization model in order to lure the like, it's like both worlds come to peace with each other. And this is extremely important. Like in my eyes, I used to be a dedicated Hexa sort fan. Like in my eyes, it's extremely smart and intelligent way of, and also Coinsol did it rightfully so, a extremely intelligent way of monetizing a game in my eyes.
When we are just discussing, I was just thinking of this. Okay, would it make sense in a match three layout? Okay, like I mean, like in match three layout, we see a lot of systems, right? Unless you clear X amount of blocks, this door won't open or these dishes won't break and all. Would it make sense for a match three layout, or like it would only make sense if the layout is empty and we are fit doing something, rather than layout is completely full? And what is your thought on this guy? Like, can this thing be done in a already completely occupied layout rather than filling layout like this? What is your thought on that? Like,
So it's definitely needs some testing. I guess that they already did it, and this is why you don't see a lot of match tree using this type of monetization model. And also it's important to say, like, and I saw Jakob is talking about it as well. The clarification and understanding about like deterministic puzzles versus non-deterministic puzzles. This is extremely important in order to, because when you're reaching a non-deterministic puzzle, allowing ad monetization on top of the grid sometimes give a player the reverse feeling of, as you started this topic of monetizing something without like smart monetization, without actually monetizing it. So actually it will give like a backfire. So I think you need to kind of use it carefully. I saw some games try to do that, but still it's not fully blown used. So we need to be extremely, I don't know, like careful with it and test it. Obviously it's being tested. So
hmm. But actually, next I'll show you one game. Okay, in a completely filled layout, they're trying this thing. I'll show you. So I think you can see this good sort thing. Na, this is almost a completely filled layout, and they keep this add button in this way.
sure.
So yeah,
But
this was one
what one
interesting
important
example.
thing, yeah, but one important thing to say, sorry to barge in, is
Yeah,
that like in this example, eventually, what they say basically, they say that it's either you watch RV now and you get rid of the chains, or you will make the matches that you need, or you will progress and then it will be freed out. So they're not like, it's important to understand that players from the dawn of society, they hate the feeling of a game that is rigged or a game that is a pay to win. And if you put like an ad on it, just an ad, without the ability to finish it with matches, so it would be relatively aggressive to a player. Here, what you say is basically you can use it if you want to fasten things up, you want to do it faster, and you want to get rid of that. But you can either wait for like do the exact matches that the game is asking you, and then you'll be done with that. So this is again another example of why it is important to do that.
no, no, makes sense. And there is another interesting thing. Okay, like what I really like in good sort. The thing is, the luxury chest. What you see, right? That will be filled out based on my stars, and depending on, I think, even match 3D. A lot of other games too did this, okay? So the right matches I do in less amount of time, my combo increases. The amount of stars which I get increases. So what do you think on this thing? Like, I mean, time pressure based action where the more fast I do this, the more higher stars I get through which I can get special power ups. So sometimes in order to just not break my streak, okay, within 2 seconds I need to do a match, or within 4 seconds I need to do a match. So this is more like micro time pressure compared to the overall time pressure. So do you think is that too much for a player, or like that's a good way to monetize too?
So it's a great question. Listen, this is an amazing. Like they took it from these casual puzzles. So it's a formula that works. But and it's a huge but, and this is now we're talking from the product side and not from the game design side.
Hmm.
Because as a product, the formula works, but like as a design, as a mechanic, this formula works. But if you look at it from a product side, so it says like in these type of games where the action is extremely like there is the conveyor and every gameplay itself is extremely fast. You're reaching a specific target audience. For instance, to implement this mechanic or this system into a game like Unravel Master, like Screwdom, that in my eyes would be wrong because you're targeting a different target audience there, and which this
Hmm.
target audience stem from a more ASMR relaxing game that you're basically want to release. There are no timer based. It's nothing like that. You want to have this ability in games that you need to be you rely on your skills. For example, all of those whole games, all of those physics-based games that are rely on timer. And sometimes it's even all of those block mechanic games that still dominate the puzzle genre. But all of those, it's a good thing to go with because this is a far more younger target audience, competitive target audience, even more male-ish, I would say, in comparison to a different games that are more female oriented and much more relaxed and yeah. So like you go and there was a great lecturer that used to tell me that before you go and teach someone something, because I was also a teacher in the university. So he said before you're getting prepared to a class, know your audience, learn a little bit about them, where they came from, what do they like, what do they want to achieve. And this is something that product are doing when they learn about their targets, when they want to face. Sometimes I see a lot of developers, they skip this phase because they say, listen, I saw this great feature, let's put it inside this game. It's like it's not a formula to success because it's kind of like when you make a pasta, you don't throw in every product, every ingredient you have in your kitchen. Otherwise it will taste, I would say, not good. So it's extremely important when you create a game that you will actually understand why. All the time that you create something, that you design a feature, you do something, you need to have the ability and the integrity even to have the reasoning for it, why you do that.
No, no, I mean, like, first understand their target audience and an interesting mechanic depending on the age group, the gender, and all. It should be properly planned, or else it will misfire. That's the point, right? Majorly.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm. And I think even barbecue sauce comes under the same family of game, right? The sorting with a different presentation, and these guys have a way different approach. I mean, like they have a delivery kind of system. Okay, like what do you call? You need to deliver this within 1 minute 27 seconds.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
slightly unique version of what the combo X did. What did you think? This is more relaxing, or like this is also equally stressful compared to the good shot?
Listen, I have to say, it won't answer the like you said in at the end. We need to say like to rate what we like most. So nothing in comparison, like nothing to answer this question. But I have to say that I actually love all of those games. I love Foodie Sizzle. I love Skewer Gem by iCame. I love everything. First and foremost, like everything relates to meat and skewers and everything. It makes me hungry. So, but anyway, like in my eyes, like all the order system, what it reminds me of like I play with my wife Overcooked. And overcooked, basically you play with like two cooks, and you have like some sort of deliver. You need to deliver this amount of or burgers and this amount of pasta. And it, when we play, like this is extremely chaos in the house. Like we fight, we argue, we do a lot of like. She shouts at me, "Where are my dishes?" And I tell her there are no plates, and and there is a huge fight in the house. This is why we stopped playing this. But actually, but for me as a player, I love to play it, but I love to play it alone. But I'm always like on an adrenaline rush. I need to like I need to do this and this within this time limit. Otherwise, I won't get like maybe I would like finish the level, but I won't finish the level at 3 stars. And it's important because 3 stars will give you better gold will give you, etc., etc. So they basically they educate you to kind of be faster and be more aware of your like. It's not something like we used to call all of those idle mechanic games, the idle RPGs, the idle arcades. We used to call them like normally the toilet games because you put it aside, or even like you're commuting, you don't need to be extremely concentrated on the screen. But here, there is no room for you to put the screen aside. You need to be
Yeah.
engaged. You need to be full like hands on the game. And I just love this game. Like for me, it's like they ruined my life like with this game.
Which one do you like more, Foodie Sizzle or Good Sort? Which category? Food Sort or this thing?
Um, I like Foodie Sizzle more. Something within like this skewer. Like I like this first and foremost. Like I like this art style. I think it's extremely like it's not too much detailed and not too much like pixelized. So I actually like this one. But I don't know. Like this is an intelligent use of this theme. Like in order in instead of the good sort. Like it's like really narrowed down, but it doesn't feel repetitive. I don't know why, but when you narrow down the theme, because you started from goods, so you have many goods, but then you go just for skewers. So you feel like, oh my God, you narrow down the theme, it will be repetitive and boring. But then they say, okay, you think it's repetitive and boring. We add you more features, more mechanic, more everything. The game is endless of fun, like in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I do like this a lot. Visually, this is more appealing compared to Good Sort, I believe, too.
Definitely.
So, I mean, we'll just recap what all things we discussed. Okay, so you do first start with what are your favorites. Maybe first thing is our giving a super power up for a couple of levels or couple of minutes. That is first feature. Second feature is more like a smart, like streak based monetization or streak based. I mean, I should not lose my streak in order to miss a special power up, rather than a one time thing like first one. Let's assume this is second one. Third one is your our Hexa sort grid based ad monetization and IAP monetization. And fourth one is more like time based pressure, like good sort or food disease you can assume. So you can tell me what is your first favorite amongst these four?
So okay, I guess you already know, but the first one, the one with like giving you a character or giving you something that they can easily take it away from you, is something that, in my eyes, it's extreme. Like they actually utilize a lot of psychological elements here. And again, it's much more easier to do it with a vast and rich narrative other than games that are extremely depleted from this one. Um, on top, like after that, I think that like yes, this one, like ad monetization being diverted into ILP, it's
Okay.
something that like extremely. it- They actually put a lot of emphasis in to learn what, why, and where. Because I want to say one more thing. Ask yourself, what did they put those hexagons of ad monetization just there? It's not by chance. They actually
Mhm.
thought about why. So it's kudos for that. The third one is the progression based, where basically streak based and the one with with Unravel. I think it's extremely talk the way that puzzle games should look alike. Puzzle games are pure progression orientation, And this is why like I want to give something really good, really nice. For me, I would say like the next step is that this is 5 streak. You get like the X-ray for 5 streak. What would you get for a 7 streak? So this is the next evolution of what I would do. And a lot of puzzle games are actually doing that by their pre-level boosters. So it's like really important to do that. And the last one, and it's not because I like it the least. It's because it depends on a specific target audience. It's the
Hmm.
it's basically the effect of the time pressure, the effect of you need to be like your finger needs to be really fast on the screen, really like anxious. You always pay attention to everything goes by. So these are my ratings. Yeah.
I mean, for me, if you ask me, first I like your streak thing, okay? Because when I was playing Unravel Master back then, that was very addicting. If whenever I'm losing, I'm just watching a lot of ads or just buying something to just not lose my streak. For me, second thing was more like I'm slightly competitive player, so I do like the time pressure. Okay, what happens in Match Factory or Good Sort, all these games, the way they ask me to complete this more faster, and maybe third thing could be the first one, like are having a super powerful character for X amount of time. I mean, this is not bad, okay, but fourth thing, I mean, like I don't have a choice, but this is also very interesting thing, but for me, that could be my order, maybe roughly. And
Sure.
that's pretty much everything about this time video. Like we'll soon come with more interesting game breakdowns on different various games. And I think Guy will be back soon with another interesting episode too. So that's pretty much everything, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.